I came to Canada in 1962, and now I'm living happily in a senior citizen's home, just counting my days. I arrived in Canada in December. It was so cold. When I stepped out of the airport, there was this white stuff, like vapor, coming out of my mouth. I tried to stop it, but I couldn't. I was so scared. I looked around, and there was a gentleman, a white guy, standing by. And he had the same white stuff coming out of his mouth. I ran to him, and I said, "Excuse me, sir, but it seems to me that you and I are having the same problem." He looked at me, and he said, "Fuck off."
My parents brought me to Canada when I was only 4 years old. My first memory was of flying a kite in a green meadow. I had this big blue and red shiny kite, but I could never fly it on my own. I kept trying and trying, but my dad always had to help me until one day I was finally able to do it. The wind took it right into the sky.
Pull it back, pull it back. Give it some more line. Now let it go. There it goes.
When I was 14, I met the woman who would be my wife, my Indian princess.
Nobody thought that our relationship would survive, but it did.
In our early 20s, we were married, much to our parents' dismay.
And soon after, we had our first child, our only child.
I grew up with an Indian mother and a Chinese father. People used to ask me, "Where are you from?" "Canada." For the last 2 months, I've been working at a senior center.
2 months? I haven't seen you here before. Do you work here?
No, I'm just a volunteer.
Oh. Volunteering is given to your community.
Volunteers are students that come and do the jobs we don't really want to do.
Volunteering is devoting my time, talent, and energy for a task of which I'm not paid for.
I have to, volunteer or something, or I won't be allowed to graduate.
Volunteering is doing fun things like cooking at the puja.
Volunteering is a great way for our organization to connect with our youth and community.
Volunteering is helping your neighbor when they need it.
Volunteering is mentoring. It's training somebody to do something that I do.
Volunteering is a great way for me to gain experience, and it looks good on my resume.
Organizations like us need money to run our activities. Getting volunteers is a great opportunity for us to get grants from the government.
Volunteers aren't paid, not because they're worthless, but because they're priceless.
Compulsory service is a great equalizing force, much as military service was in the past. Compulsory service brings together people from all walks of life and forces them to get along.
Volunteers are students that can make a difference in a child's life.
is good for you. I tried it once, but I hated it. They sent me back to try again, but I ran away and never went back. The end of year is almost here. They say I can't graduate. 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 They say I can't graduate.
I say you can't graduate.
Give to your community, it's a great opportunity.
I tried real hard to find a placement, but ended up working in a basement. I wanted to find a job that fit. To tell you the truth, it was a pile of...
I want to volunteer at the library.
You must commit to a 2-week placement.
But I'm just a volunteer.
Ask 2 people to fill out the volunteer reference forms on your behalf.
Reference forms, but I just arrived in this country.
Drop off the completed application and volunteer reference forms by Friday, October 23rd, 2009.
That's this Friday.
The number of participants is limited, so get your application in early. As part of our screening practice, all new applicants will be asked to participate in an interview.
An interview?
Remember, applicants will only be accepted if all 3 forms are fully completed and submitted before the deadline. Dusting books. It's the greatest volunteer job ever. You want to know why? It's because I get to see all these amazing books every single day. And every book's in English. There's books about everything. There's books about people, the stars, planets, and there's books about love.
Hello.
Hey.
Are we still having fun?
Yeah.
Good. What is your name again?
Sugi.
Susie.
Sugi.
Ah, and where are you from?
Korea.
Korea. Ah, that's far away. How many books, how many shows have you done?
Well, I'm almost done this one. I'm just putting it back and...
Ah, did you say one? But we have all these shelves to do by the end of the day. You are working too slowly. Do you understand? Huh? Or do you want me to speak more slowly? Here, let me show you. Take one book, dust it, put it back. Take another, dust it, put it back. You understand? Here, you can do it. Call me if you need some help.
And the reader identifies with the hero until the moment he's left out in the cold.
Where were you?
I was at school.
School finished 2 hours hours ago.
I was volunteering.
Volunteering? What's volunteering?
Oh, it's like working for free.
They make you work for no pay? What do they make you do?
Oh, fill boxes.
Fill boxes?
In the basement.
Oh, ma, they make you work in the basement?
At the bank.
Oh, the bank. I'm so proud of you, beta. I can tell all of our friends and family that my son works at the bank.
Oh, the food bank.
What is a food bank?
Oh, it's for poor people.
So poor people come, put food in the bank, and come back and take it out later?
Oh, no, no. The rich people put the food in, and then the poor people take it out.
There are no poor people in Canada, beta.
There are poor people in Canada.
Oh, yeah? Well, then I am poor too. I might have a roof over my head and food on the table, but I am here all alone. Why don't you volunteer for your poor mother?
I enjoy working there. It's exciting. I met this guy named Phil. He's a single dad.
Phil. Phil. Fill boxes.
Never mind.
Well, did they feed you?
No.
It's a food bank and they didn't feed you?
Mom.
Come, I will make you something to eat. You sit here. Butter, paneer, and naan.
So what you're saying is my daughter isn't going to get her Canadian high school diploma if she doesn't complete her 40 hours of unpaid slave labor.
Well, we like to call it volunteering.
I know.
We encourage our students to actively participate in the community.
My daughter's not comfortable with volunteering.
Oh, I see. Is that true? You're not comfortable with volunteering?
My daughter's not... We're not comfortable with... I'm not comfortable with my daughter volunteering. I don't think you understand.
I think I do.
Where we come from, in our country, volunteering means something very different. We had to. We were forced to. We left because I'm not sure you understand.
This is Canada. It's different here.
I hope so.
I'm looking at your file here, and I see that you don't have any volunteer hours.
I don't have time to volunteer. I'm too busy.
If you don't volunteer, you won't be able to graduate.
Well, is there any way around it?
You'll have to prioritize.
But I do. I do so much. There's homework and there's...
Pam, if you volunteer for the community, you'll feel much better as a person.
Which community?
Our community.
Your community?
No, your community.
My community.
No, our...
Yours?
Bottom line, you have to volunteer.
Oh my God, I have to go.
Wait, Pam.
No, I have to get to the temple, cook for the puja, serve at the soup kitchen, wash all the dishes, and then clean up the community center.
Community center? Pam, wait!
Hey, Captain, careful, live long and prosper, man. See you later.
Nick, just 1 second.
No,
1 minute.
I've got
1 minute.
I've got into my placement. All right, fine. Really quick.
Pam, I'm looking over your file here, Nick, and I see that you have volunteered for 40 hours this week.
Yep. Oh, yeah, I was reading to the kids. It was so much fun.
And last week for 41 hours.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I was landscaping, yeah.
The week before 42.
Yep. The fundraising drive. Oh, that was really
And it
cool.
just goes on and on and on. Nick, you only have to do 40 hours.
Yeah.
Entirely.
Yeah.
In your career as a student at the school, 40 hours total.
Yeah.
You do 40 hours every week.
Yeah.
Well, according to my calculations, that's 6,782, which would be 6,742 too many.
Too many?
You can stop.
I have to stop?
You don't have to stop. You can do less.
Less? How much less?
10.
10? How am I going to get everything done? 35.
15.
30.
20.
25.
22.
22.5. Thanks, Mr. K. I'll see you in the ESL tomorrow. Bye.
You're a good man, Nick.
Comment?
咩事啫，爸爸？
你咁遠？
我唔再翻去啦。
邊度 feel？邊度 feel？
我都唔中意 volunteering 嘅，我都冇朋友。
但係我 friend 你個話 volunteer 呀？
咁就咩有大學都唔會再用噶啦。
咩神老師，得 friend 都
唔係遊戲嚟㗎，大學可以用㗎嘛，係電腦嚟㗎。你老咗你唔識用。
volunteer。
咁就咩啊？我唔去咯。
真係㗎 feel
唔睇我。
算
咯。
好似喎而
佢鬧我啊！佢話如果我唔翻去啊，佢抌我啲嘢啊。
邊個就邊個 volunteer 講嗱，邊啲冇知冇。
ના મારી બેટી તો અહીંયા જ રહેવાની છે ટબર કામ કરવાની નથી તું કે એને વોલન્ટિયર કરવાનું છે
તમે કઈ ના ખાય
ના એ તો અહીંયા જ રહેવાની છે એને જલ્દી ગમે એવું કરવાનું
બોયો જે બોલે સાલે તમે કઈ ના ખાય ના પણ
તમને
ફીઓ
કોઈ ખબર છે કે
ah
ના બધા બહાર જોયા
Severi Baguan. Akamori me kwes mateng or if sige kwate. Pwede ka wala na volunteering ka pakisi mo ay mari ka pwede ka mo alal.
好啦，你係最威水嘅 volunteer 啦，咁就咩啫？
મારો બેટો તો બહુ જ ડાયો છે તું અહીંયા રહે તું તો બહુ જ કામ કરે
ona me fío ona no puedo o va auto que na vie
你整邊個喺度鬧交啊？你成日都要點解要講咁多嘢？你信我吹打，你啱啱保護緊我啊！咁就咩啊？你信我打？
Hey, guys. Dinner's ready.
Bebe, pare, tengo que la
Volunteering, eh?
You must be Sana.
Sana.
Sana. Welcome to our organization.
There's that smile. I get it everywhere I go. I feel like people don't see me, they just see what I'm wearing.
This is the photocopier. I'll show you how it works.
See what I mean? It took a long time for people to actually talk to me, but eventually they did. they'd come up to me in the lunchroom and share their stories.
My husband was away for the weekend, and I had to work the barbecue on my own. I had this huge rack of lamb, and I just burnt the entire thing to a crisp. It was so embarrassing. But hey, he's back this weekend, so we're going to try again if you'd like to join us.
Sure. I was changing people, and this made me want to volunteer more. I volunteered at 4 different organizations, and the same thing would happen. At first, they would avoid me, but eventually they'd start talking to me and even smile at me differently.
Sana. I want 10 copies, if that's okay.
Sure. That's the smile I'm looking for.
I grew up in a small village on the coast of West Africa. The white sand, the sun, the clean water, the fresh air. And yes, the fishermen, strong, tall, dark, pushing their boats out to the edge of the water, jumping into them and rowing out to sea, singing at the top of their voices. When they reached the middle of the sea, they threw their nets into the water and began the journey back, dragging along that single rope that connected them to each other and to their catch. When the rope arrived at the shore, everyone ran to grab a piece of it to pull the nets in. At the end of the day, the fishermen shared their catch with everyone who had helped. It's a full moon, a bit warm, but the fishermen cannot fall asleep yet. They have to fix their nets for tomorrow's outing. There's very little singing now because the day's job has taken its toll. One by one, as the night wears away, the fishermen finish their job and fall asleep, trying to catch enough rest for tomorrow. This is what we call community. Volunteer United Way and President of the African Canadian Association.
Nicholas Cumming, volunteer with the Warmer Environmental Project and Board of Directors Flushing Productions.
Pam Patel volunteered for the past 3 consecutive festivals of Open Ears, Music and Sound.
Muroki Tong, volunteer also for the Open Ears Festival and Kitchener-Waterloo Little Theatre.
Gary Kirkham, volunteer for the Kitchener-Waterloo Galleries and the Cambridge Centre of the Arts.
Megan Bunce, volunteer with Numis Concerts, Inc. and the Open Ears Festival of Sound.